Welcome, traveler, to Orion Reads. Let's get into it. I am an intuitive reader. I'm new to tarot, but very seasoned in energy reading. This reading is timeless and intended to offer insight into a situation that is on your mind. If this message finds you, it is because it is meant to. Okay, family. This is the fourth attempt at me getting these readings out to you. Is anyone else swimming in the full moon in Sagittarius energy coming up on the 31st? A big misconception is that celestial events happen on the date or time of the event, and that couldn't be further from the truth. The energy can be here as early as 2 weeks before the event itself and could linger for as long as 2 weeks after the event itself. It depends on a lot of different factors, including the vibration of the human and the size of the celestial event and the impact it has on past, present, and future events. So with that said, I recorded 3 readings already this week, and I wasn't able to use any of them. There was so much active energy, both in the spiritual and the physical, that you could hear everything, which impresses me, because it just means that usually it's pretty quiet when I choose to record, which is really nice. But it just seems like there was so much. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a very specific word. There was so much static. And I think that's relevant going into this reading. And we're about to get into it. Okay, the first card. Death. The second card. The Six of Wands. The third card. The Eight of Wands. Okay, take what works and leave the rest. Never force a reading onto your situation. Some of the readers I follow pummel me with accuracy, and some don't. It is my responsibility to discern the difference. Okay, this death card is poetic, to say the least. First of all, I've never pulled it before, so this is really exciting. Second, I just completed what feels like a 6-month death and rebirth cycle. I remember very vividly when it started, and it felt like completion over the last few days. It to the point where I believe I had to pause one night and just kind of sit and take it all in. And I was probably just sitting there in my thoughts for a good hour or 2, 3 hours maybe. It was pretty late into the evening, and I used to do that all the time, especially during COVID, during lockdown. Go figure. Nothing but time. And the catharsis involved is low-key unmatched. All right, there's so much I want to say, so I'm trying to think of how to not get too lost in the sauce. With that said, I understand the allure of showing up to a reading and hearing all of the things that you want to hear. Trust me, I get it. And as always, I'm going to caution you to tune into your vibration, tune into your situation. Do not believe anything it is I'm saying just because I'm the one saying it. Don't believe anything anyone says just because they're the one saying it. I have the utmost profound respect for Jordan Peterson, and I almost listen to him speak. Like, I almost extra tune in just to make sure that there isn't anything that, how do I say this? I'm just making sure that I actually resonate. I'm almost twice as suspect now with him, just because I value his opinion and I value his perspective, and he's been so influential in my own personal journey, as well as professionally, to be honest, that I almost want to, like, what's the word? I almost tune in with like a suspect ear just to make sure, just like I'm almost looking for, areas where we don't agree on, just for sake of my own authenticity, and that I'm actually, tuning in properly and not getting lost in the sauce like I'm cautioning now. So with that said, how are you applying these readings to your situation? This is the energy. This is what I'm reading, and if you're listening to this, then it's for you, which is wonderful. My question is, how are so I don't know what I've said and what I haven't. But in one of the last readings, and thank you so much for your patience as I get all this out. In one of the last readings, I pulled the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Three of Swords. And for the Ace of Swords, I saw that it was like a divine weed whacker. God was clearing the path for you, saying, I will do the heavy lifting. I will, remove all the shrubbery. What I need you to do is lock in, put one foot in front of the other, and keep going. For the second one, the Two of Swords, I believe it was, and I'm getting to this card, I promise. Thank you so much for your patience. For the Two of Swords, it was, excuse me, it was. I think I said, I think the first words out of my mouth were justice is blind. And there was a river running behind it, and it was calling to me. It was so rejuvenative. It was so tranquil. It was so restorative. And I felt, even now, as I'm saying it to you, I'm feeling cleansed. I'm feeling like the energy is moving for the better. And that basically saying, because of the Two Swords she was holding, remember, gender, tarot has no gender, she wasn't afraid to sit there blindfolded, because she had divine protection. She knew she was safe, and she could focus on what it is she was meant to be doing in that moment, in that space and time. And then for the Three of Swords, I think I flat out rejected it. I rejected the energy. I remember saying that I don't know if it's this. I think I said something to the effect of, I'm expected to look at this card as calamity, and I didn't. Especially considering the death and rebirth that I feel like I'm still going through right now. A major cycle just ended for me, which is where this card comes in. Even though this is a skull, even though this is clearly death, even though the association is to be sad and to be melancholy, this looks like a celebration to me. Look at this glow in the background. Is this the sun? Is this sunset? Or actually, if this is olden times, this is probably sunrise. But either way, both are very transformative times of the day. I'm hearing, you've been working so hard. Allow what's meant to go to go. Major parts of you are dying. Major parts of you that no longer serve you or never did are exiting. And this is a good thing. This is what you've been working towards. This is what you want. Don't let the illusion of the 3D fool you. Don't say, oh, death is bad. Death is sorrow. Death is sadness. Do not get me wrong. I've lost loved ones, and it changed me forever. And we can get into that when the time comes. Maybe it'll be in this reading. Maybe it won't be. But the point is, what's coming up for you? How are you interpreting it? And I stand by those readings. If you actually look at the Two of Swords and you look at the Three of Swords, they were not what I was seeing, but I think that's part of the point. I think I remember for the Three of Swords, it looked so for those that are not familiar, it is a big red heart with three swords piercing through them. And I saw what was meant to represent rain in the background. And I think I said, this is meant to represent rain. I don't see water. Water is cleansing. Water is rejuvenative. Water is restorative. And that's not what was coming through for me. And I think all of that was relevant to the reading. And in case I haven't said it, I couldn't record it. The audio was terrible that day. Yeah. Sorry, I've spent so much time on this, and I want to move on, but yeah, I I stand by that, actually. I stand by all that. So we can move on to the next card. Okay. Also, in case I haven't said it yet in this reading, I read from the wish fulfilled. What does this mean? This means the first card is the energy that you're in now. The second card is a preview of what's coming. And the third card is where it all leads. It's the wish fulfilled. And I read from the perspective that this has already happened. This is what we're working towards. And it's kind of like, there's this really beautiful quote that says, your future self is looking back at you through its memories right now. That's how I read. I hope that makes sense. If you need more clarification, let me know. All right. What did I say this was? The Six of Swords, or the Six of Wands? Okay, I see a celebration. I see a victory lap. I see a champion walking through the town square. I see you are anchored in your heart space. Yeah, this is a victory lap. You've won. You've ignored the illusion. This isn't sadness. This isn't calamity. This is the end of a cycle. This is the goal. How would we know what life is if death didn't exist to contrast it? How would we know what peace is if we didn't know what the absence of peace is, so that we'd know we were in it when we found it? This is that. Also, if I know I'm always mentioning different chakras. In this case, we have the green for the heart chakra. He's riding the heart chakra right now. Orange for the sacral, which is what's the word? Creativity, pleasure. In this case, I heard thinking outside the box. There's a lot more orange over here, so you're being inspired to really, with all the energies, of course, but with this one in particular, you're being inspired to lean into it once it comes. This is a good thing. You've worked for this. Allow yourself to take it in. Allow yourself to reap the benefits of achieving this. It's a very big deal. If you're the first to beat yourself up and drag yourself down and hold yourself accountable and scold yourself, I highly recommend to balance out that energy by also celebrating your wins, or else you are doing yourself a disservice. Energy is meant to ebb and flow. Energy is meant to come and go. Energy is meant to transmute. It is meant to transform. It is not meant to leave you the same as it found you. So keep that in mind. Okay, I'm just honestly so excited that I'm reading. This is about 14 minutes in, and I'm okay with it. I am. Let's see. This is the Eight of Wands. I haven't read anything yet today. Let's get into that really quick. This card. This card is giving me King of Pentacle vibes, in the sense that it's such a dark card, but it's so light. And again, I feel like I need to stress the fact that don't be afraid to mourn those parts of you. Don't be afraid to mourn the parts of you that you can't take into this new season. I've been a big believer of give the situation the respect it deserves, whether it's good or it's bad. I believe there is so much beauty in sadness. I believe there is so much beauty in places that people don't seem to find it, and I believe that that's a detriment to the person. Yeah, I was gonna go into a thing, but I don't want to get lost. I'm pretty impressed with how on target I seem to be. I just heard don't get lost in the illusion, in a very big, do not get lost in the illusion. So I'm saying that again. Okay. Death, upright. A major phase or perspective of your life that is no longer serving you is now coming to an end. opening up the possibility of something far more valuable and essential. You must close one door to open another. Do not fear this change. It can be a truly positive thing. Stand by what I said. Okay. Six of Wands. Okay. Let's see how we can honor this. Okay, that's not terrible. Okay, could be better, but we'll go with it. Six of Wands upright. You are reaching success, victory. You are winning and achieving, earning acclaim and recognition. You might have fans, well-wishers, and a crowd of supporters. You are stable, strong, and have successful campaigns, and you are winning battles. Remember what this was all about. Remember what it took to get here. Remember the sacrifices. Remember the challenges. Remember the moments of insecurity. Remember the moments where you weren't sure if you were doing the right thing. Whew, felt that. Remember all of this. And I'm saying this to not get lost in the sauce. Do not get lost in all of this, celebrate. No, I don't know if that's the right, what I want to say. Do not get lost in the promotion of the event. Remember why you're here. Remember what you're doing. This is a win. Definitely celebrate. Like I just said, definitely give the situation the respect it deserves, but also remember what this is all about. This is an evolution, and this is major. You should be celebrating. You should be proud of yourself. And I don't like using the word should because it implies like one way of doing something, but for lack of a better word, we'll go with that for now. Okay. Eight of Wands. Woo, did you feel that breath? Oh my goodness. Or did you hear that breath? Or maybe you felt it too. Okay. You are moving, rushing, progressing, taking off, gaining momentum. Exciting times are ahead. You are seeing results, finding solutions, and your hard work is paying off. You might go traveling or have holiday romances. You are ready to jump in and be swept off your feet. What did I hear? What did I hear? What did I hear? What did I hear? You are moving, rushing, progressing, taking off, gaining momentum. Exciting times are ahead. You are seeing results, finding solutions, and your hard work is paying off. Where is it? It's like right there. You are moving, rushing, progressing, taking off, gaining momentum. Exciting times are ahead. Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. That's what I heard with this as I read the card. It's so easy to lose sight of what it's all for. It's so easy to lose sight of what it's all about. I always say that I'm only as good. I'm trying to think of. I have three different analogies in my head. I always say I'm only as good as my next win. It doesn't matter, how great I've done in the past. It definitely does to a point, but that point is usually when I start to lose sight of it. And I always say I'm only as good as my next win. And it's to keep me humble. It's to keep me on target. It's to keep my eye on the prize. You've done all this work. Do not allow yourself to fumble, essentially. All right. All right, family, that's it. I'm done with this specific reading. What was I going to say? There was something I wanted to mention. I have a what I missed in the description box of the readings. Check those out because there's just so much going on. I'm reading so much, and I'm constantly picking and choosing what to comment on and what not to, for sake of flow and all the other things. So check that out because, there are things that I miss. Also, there was something else I wanted to discuss. I can't recall, and I don't want this reading to be any longer. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like, share, and subscribe for that algorithm magic, so I may keep doing these readings for you. I am also taking live readings, and those will be in the description box as well. Only check them out if you're inspired to do so. Thank you so much for joining me. This channel would not be the same without you,